Hello, I'm Sarah Barguirdjian and welcome to this yoga class where I'm going to be breaking down and focusing on key actions and elements of Bakasana, crow or crane pose. This is an arm balance that often eludes people, so I'm hoping that through little tricks and tips it will become a pose that becomes much more doable for you. You're going to need a strap and a block. They're going to help you along the way. Before we begin, I am going to be teaching a workshop to all my patrons on the last Thursday of this month and the last Thursday of every month, a live workshop. So if you're interested in getting more help from me, then have a look at the link below. I'm on Patreon as Sarah B Yoga, and you can sign up from there and get lots of access and lots of help from me. Let's begin with Bakasana. So I want you to begin on hands and knees. So place your wrists underneath your shoulders, separate your knees and your feet. Now press your toenails down into the floor and round your back. The abdominal muscles need to be engaged a lot in Bakasana, so here you're training them as you round your back. Also, something that needs to be done in Bakasana, look towards your navel and press your tailbone towards your nose. Keeping this, move your knees and your ankles together. Then raise your chin and look forwards and pick up your right leg and straighten it behind you as you press your left buttock in. Then bring your right knee out to the side, kind of chicken winging it out, keeping the foot high, and bring your knee towards your upper right arm. Then go back into three-legged dog shape. This is actually called tiger pose. Do that again. Bring your right knee towards your upper right arm. If you can make contact, great. If you can't, don't worry. Go back into this tiger pose shape. Bring your right knee down. Let's do it on the other side. Pick up the left leg, straight it behind you. Try not to hammock your back down here. Knit in your lower ribs, slightly puff up your upper back. And then bring your left knee towards your left upper arm as high as you can. And then again, back into the straight line behind you. One more time, bring your knee to your upper arm and then go back. Then bring your knee down next to your other knee. Walk your hands back closer towards your knees and then turn your fingers round so that your fingers are pointing towards your knees. If this is really tricky for your wrists, have your hands close to your body. If you find that you can walk your hands a little further away, and still press the heels of your hands down into the mat, do that. Round your back again and press your knees and your ankles towards each other really firmly so you feel your inner thighs engage. Keep breathing as steadily and calmly as you can. Then from here, lift your chin, look forwards, turn your fingers forward, and come into downward facing dog. Walk your hands forward with your index fingers parallel to each other. Tuck your toes under and come into your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then bring your 2 feet together. And as you inhale, raise your right leg up and back into this three-legged dog shape. Now, before you do anything, keep pressing the left buttock in. And then as we did earlier, move your body weight forward and bring your right knee towards your right upper arm and press in. Go back, three-legged dog, and then bring your right leg down. Let's do that on the other side. Raise the left leg up and bring your left knee towards your left upper arm. Go back to three-legged dog and bring your leg down. Now bring your right leg up and back behind you, just like you did in three-legged dog. And step your right foot forward in between your hands. Bring your back knee down and bring your right hand inside your right heel. If you can keep your fingertips on the floor and that's good for you, then just stay like this. But if you can flatten your hands, do that as well. Or do that instead, rather. Press your right leg into your right arm so you really feel your right hip engage and you get that feeling of kind of dragging the right foot even over to the left. Then round your back. Go back to downward facing dog. Pick up your back knee and step back. Move your right hand over to the right. Bring your 2 feet together. Inhale your left leg up and back. Keep pressing your fingerprints into the floor. Then step your left foot forward in between your hands. Bring your back knee down. Keep your back toes tucked under for this. And bring your left hand inside your left heel. Press your inner leg, your inner thigh, into your upper arm. And again, round your back. Press both of your feet into the center line of your mat. So you feel like that back knee goes a little to the left and the front foot goes a little to the right. And keep pressing your inner left thigh into your left arm. Pick up your back knee and go back to downward facing dog. Now bring both of your knees down to the floor and get your block. And then from here, sit down with both of your knees bent and put your block in its widest setting in between your knees and a little bit more towards your thighs rather than your calves. Come all the way down onto the floor with your back and your head. And if you've got a ponytail, pull it along a little bit here. And then from here, squeeze the block with your legs so you're hugging into that midline again, that center line of your mat. And pick your block up. And if possible, bring the big toe edges of your feet together. You can keep your head on the floor, stay with this, or reach your hands up towards the ceiling and separate your fingers. And on your next exhalation, pick your head up off the floor, draw your knees down towards your upper arms and squeeze your block even more. Pick your bottom up a little bit more here if you can. So here we're doing crow pose upside down. 3, keep squeezing the block. 2, lift your chin. 1, and come all the way down. Now, if you've got a lot of enthusiasm for this pose, press the pause button and do that 2 or 3 more times. Moving on, take the block away and draw your right knee up in towards your right shoulder and lengthen your left leg long down the mat. Separate your right toes here and put some spark into your foot. Now, keeping the knee as much down towards your shoulder as you can, release the hands somewhat so you're getting less help from your arms and your hands, and try and keep that knee pressing up towards your shoulder. Then bring your right foot to the floor. Pick up your left leg, change the interlace of your fingers, lengthen your right leg straight down the mat, and draw your left knee towards your left shoulder, kind of the outside of the shoulder. Spark the toes again. And from here, try and use the leg and the hip to keep the knee in place more so than the hands. And then let the hands start to even have less contact with the leg. Really squeeze the knee closed. Bring the heel down towards your bottom and draw the knee more towards your left shoulder. Then bring both feet to the floor and roll over onto your side. Now come into downward facing dog. And as you do this, just reach around for your block and put it on the top right hand corner of your mat. You can re-establish your ponytail at the same time. Downward facing dog, bring your feet together. Raise your right leg up and back. Chicken wing your right leg out to the side again. Inhale, go back into 3-legged dog. And then step your right foot forward in between your hands. This time, bring your back heel down. Put the block inside your right heel and come up into Warrior 2. Leave the block there. Then put your right hand onto the block inside your leg. As you bend that knee perhaps a little bit more, press your inner thigh into your arm, then turn your back palm up and rainbow your arm over your head for this variation of side angle pose. Draw your navel in so you feel like you're actually rounding your back a little bit here, and press down through the little toe edges of your feet. You can look down or possibly look up underneath your top arm and bring it back a little bit more behind you. Keep pressing your leg into your arm. Then look down and come back into downward facing dog. Move the block a little over to the left so it's ready for the second side. Bring your 2 feet together. Inhale your left leg up and back. And then chicken wing that left knee out to the side. Inhale back to 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. Bring the block inside the heel. Put the palm of your hand onto the block. Bring the back heel down. Move your right hand forward and up, just to put your top shoulder through a nice range of motion. And then press your left leg into your arm and bring your right arm over your head. Squeeze your bottom, and again, knit in the lower ribs so you feel your abdominal muscles engage. And press down through the little toe edges of your feet. So you're slightly rounding your back here. Look down, bring your right hand down to the floor, pick up your back heel, move your block off your mat, and come back to downward facing dog. Then bring both of your knees down to the floor and walk your hands back to either sides of your knees. Tuck your toes under and pick up both of your knees so that you come into a squat. Bring your hands inside your legs and press your legs into your upper arms really firmly like a vice. And with your strong arms, push your knees away. Release that strength and come forwards a little bit more. So you're placing more weight onto your hands. Claw the mat with the tips of your fingers. Please stay with this. Or as you lift your chin, pick up one foot and bring that heel up to that buttock and bring it down. And then the other foot. And continue with this a couple more times. Then, as you vice grip your legs into your arms, possibly come to the next stage. Please don't, if you're new to this pose, by picking up one foot and then possibly the other foot, and bring the inner feet towards each other, the big toe edges. Lift your chin and then slowly come down and come back into downward facing dog. And again, if you have a lot of enthusiasm for this pose, do that again and maybe again. A good tip here is to have a sofa cushion in front of your head here in case you fall forwards. But please do keep your chin up when you're doing this pose. Now bring both of your knees down to the floor. And we're going to do something here to hopefully uplift the heart a little bit as a counter pose to Bakasana. So get your block and put it about a third of the way up the mat. Get your strap and place it just in front of your block, like this. Then sit facing away both of those props and bring the center mid-back onto your block. So not your neck, not your shoulders, a little bit below that. With your feet on the floor, hammock your fingers and bring your head to rest in your hands. You can stay at this stage, or if when you release your head comes to the floor, reach around for your strap with your palms facing up and pull the strap behind you. Sorry about the noise of the D-rings there. Pull the strap as hard as you can, as long and as taut as you can. If you're doing this, hands behind the back of the head, stage one is fine. It's very, very similar to what you're doing here. Whatever you're doing, keep pressing your tailbone towards your heels. Keep breathing as steadily as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands, whatever they're doing. Roll a little bit over onto your side so that you can nudge the block away and then lie back down again. Come into Shavasana. Lengthen one leg long and then the other, and rest. Stay here for a minute. Let your body assimilate bring in the practice as you also let your body rest and let go. Now please do, again, hit the pause button and stay longer if you want. Or bend your knees one leg at a time and roll over onto your right side. Press down with your left hand and then your right hand to bring yourself up to sit tall. Lift up through the roof of your mouth as you press down with your feet. Bring your hands into your heart. Lower your chin so it touches your fingertips. Bring your hands down onto your legs and lift your chin. Open your eyes. Namaste. Well done. Keep going. Keep practicing yoga.